Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Stage Diving with Scotty. Today, my guest is Penny Board. So,
Hi.
Penny, welcome to my little show. I have seen your recent post, continuous post of Emerald Green, and I know you've teased it with just a little bit of that chorus, and that thing just sticks in my head.
Oh, good. Good.
Super catchy.
That
Go ahead.
song is dropping this Friday, and I'm super, super excited for it. It's like my first full length song, I guess you could say, because Summer Days was only like a minute long.
It's very short,
And
yeah.
so
I think when I even heard Summer Days for the first time, I was like, whoa, 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 that's it? That's it? That's all we get?
I actually just released that just on a whim. I was only gonna release it on Twitter just for fun, and then I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And it got a good response. So here I am still making music.
I should be having fun. Mid-20s thought I'd have it figured out. Now I'm filled with doubt. Can't keep a plan alive. Tell everyone that I am doing fine. I can barely meet my deadlines. When did we lose track of it all?
Well, let me ask you then, that was your first one, right? That was your first release?
Yes.
Now okay, so let's go back to the beginning with you. Did you, this musical venture has been more of a newer thing for you, right? I think you've done more or less photography before this, right?
Yes, I've done photography for I don't even know how many years, but I've worked with a lot of Dallas bands in the area. So from like Brave Days, The Happy Alright, New Heroes, all those kinds of bands.
So
And then
that's how you know Brave Days? Is that
yeah,
oh. Okay. I was wondering what the connection was, so that makes much more sense now.
yeah, I filmed their first music video. So
Oh, really?
mhm,
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that's cool.
yeah,
Uh,
but I was so inspired by everyone. I was like, this sounds like so much fun, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And I was like, why not go for it? A year ago, actually, I started writing music, and then I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to release this, but this is a fun little hobby. Um, and then my twin sister and my really good friends and I we were like, let's just start a band in the summer. And we did, and we were having lots of fun with it. But um, my sister's in grad school, and one of the other people that she's already in another band. Um, and so we kind of talked about it, and we decided to part ways. We all still write together here and there, but they were nice enough to let me like keep the name Pennyboard and then just like venture out on my own. So they're super supportive still.
oh, good, good. What was Pennyboard your title, or did you guys was it more of a mutual yeah, let's call ourselves?
It was actually Taylor from the band Matchstick Ghost. She came up with it. It was Matchstick Ghost was originally going to be named Pennyboard, but then she decided on Matchstick Ghost, and she was like, "Well, how do you guys feel about this name?" And we were all like, "Yes, 100%. That's so cute. I love it."
Yeah,
And she was like, "You know what? This name fits you well. You should keep it." And I was so
that's
honored.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, was it now from with your photography? Was it more of a something you were already like going for, or was it kind of one of those things where it was kind of by default? Like you were hanging out one day with at a show or something and started taking pictures, and then you kind of became like the go-to to hey, yeah, let's have Faith to take pictures. All right, oh yeah, and then that kind of thing. Was it something like that, or was it more like your desire for photography and shooting videos and that kind of stuff?
I've always been interested in photography ever since I was a little kid. And then when I got into high school, I started dabbling in photography and then kind of fell out of it. And then about 4 years ago, when I moved to Denton, Texas, I picked up a camera and I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn this. And I did. And I got a degree in film. And yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, wow, how long was that?
I actually graduated this last December. So,
Oh, wow. Okay. So the rest of your schooling was over computer and whatnot because of pandemic.
Yeah, so half of it was like hands-on learning, which was really cool, and then the other half, I learned more about the industry.
Wow, very interesting. So then, so we just that's all it took was just hanging out with a bunch of other bands and stuff, and you were just like, yeah, I want to do this too.
Yeah, I was like, this looks fun. Let's give it a shot.
Now,
I
have you actually played at a show with anybody before this whole thing started? Did you actually get to play, sing with a band, or do a guest
No,
vocal spot or anything?
I've actually have never performed other than I've played violin since I was about 10 years old.
Oh,
Um, so as far as performing with music, that's the only experience I have. But as far as singing goes, no performance experience whatsoever. But I'm really excited to get out there. I've actually only been learning like how to properly sing for about 6 months, I would say.
really?
So
Just by videos, or what were you doing for that?
yeah, so my mother-in-law, she actually helps me here and there, and then again, my friend Taylor from Matchstick Go, she's been helping me with everything as far as she knows for training. Um,
Oh.
so this was kind of just like an experimental thing. I just put myself out there, and I was like, well, let's see what I can do.
Dude, I give you so much props for that. That takes a lot of guts. That's a lot of
Yeah, it was
guts.
super scary. I remember a couple months before I put out Summer Days, I covered a Meet Me at the Altar song, and they retweeted it, and it got like a good amount of views, and I was like, wait, people like my voice, maybe I should release something. And that was what really encouraged me. And then writing music with my friends helped like set the final push, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and it's fun because especially when people are seeing your desire for it and they already know you, and um, uh, to kind of guide you along, to have friends that kind of guide you along to like, yeah, and encourage that kind of passion that you have is it's so encouraging, and especially for like back in the day, uh, didn't have a lot of that. Well, I feel like it's more. I always mess up this word. Camaraderie. I think that's right. I think I said it right. Is amongst bands nowadays and musicians and solo artists and stuff. I feel like there's so much more of that nowadays than there was beforehand. It seemed like it was, at least for me, back in the '90s. Oh God, my age. And there was a there was a big thing of kind of a competition, and now I think the past 10 years or so, up till even now, even more so now, it's fun to go online and see everybody supporting one another, being involved with other bands, uh, share this and sharing that, and just it just seems to be so much more uh, just the positivity towards it. People like you, they're just like, I'm going to just do this thing, and it's just kind of blowing up.
The song that will be coming out after Emerald Green.
After.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I think you're talking about Emerald Green.
That one, I'm really excited for that one. I can't like speak too much on it yet. All I can say is I wrote with the vocalist from the Happy Alright, and is amazing.
So I could ask you then, who did you get to? Are you doing the music yourself, or you have some of your friends that are just joining in and writing the song with you?
So for Summer Days and Emerald Green, I actually wrote with my husband, and he's the vocalist of New Heroes, Ryan Sword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's always wanted to write like alternative pop music, and that was exactly the direction I wanted to go in. And for Emerald Green, I'm pretty sure we rewrote it about like 3 times, because every time we were both just like, no, this isn't hitting, like it needs something else. And then we finally figured it out. So yeah, he's been helping me with a lot of it, and he is starting to help me produce more covers and things like that. And then these were taken to Spencer who's also in New Heroes. And he kind of adds like his final touches to it and everything and makes it all come together.
Yeah. How long is how long has your husband been doing New Heroes?
New Heroes, I believe, started, I want to say 2016. They've been around for a while, but they really started to like start pushing their music when we both moved to Denton about 4 years ago. So
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. I wanted to ask, so if this turns out to where people are able to start, it sounds like it, most places, that bands are going to start touring again. Do you have any idea your setup of who would tour with you? If you do a tour, would you just play shows here and there?
yes. So I think what I would do, so I have a live band and we're actually about to start practicing again soon. I think I want to just play local shows for a bit
Just get
and
the feel of
then
it.
yeah, and then start to figure out a tour maybe next year if it's possible. But yeah, we'll keep it local for now.
Yeah.
Unless people want me to tour, then yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, come on. You know people want you to tour. How cool would that be, man? What a lineup you would have. I'm sure you would have a fantastic lineup that would be backing you up. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, the live band is actually it's a bunch of different people from a bunch of different bands. So I have Angel, who plays bass for New Heroes, and then Ryan, my husband, and then I have Dylan, who is the drummer for the Happy Alright, and Nate, who's in the band Velvet Skyline. So
Okay.
a lot of really good DFW bands just kind of
Wow.
coming together.
That's cool. And now is your plan also to have just kind of do single by single, or and then eventually have sort of a collective kind of a thing, like an album or an EP, or do you want to do um, just kind of just play it by ear and just do a release one single at a time, or what's your focus on that?
Yeah, so this year I'm for sure just doing singles. It just kind of depends on when the tracks get done and
Yeah.
how we can, plan out social media campaigns and things like that. Um, and then maybe next year I'll do an EP, but if it looks like the music industry is still just rooting for singles only, then maybe I'll do that. Like I've noticed that a lot of bands have been doing just releasing single by single and then it's their whole EP. So maybe
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Being in the band myself, seeing that our first album was a 6-song EP. The thing's right around 2 years ago, when it was just me personally was just hearing that bands were the common thing now is to release singles and not necessarily albums anymore, and that kind of broke my heart because I'm so used to albums. But the way things are working too, that's how it looks like it's going to be like this for at least the near future, that all we can see. How can I give you a little bit at a time and still keep your interest? Because people forget things. You hear a song or you hear an album, and then you're kind of like, the next week something new comes out, and you already forgotten the one that was just released. And I heard I forgot the gentleman's name. He's from the band called Then It Ends, and he said something like that. He goes, "Yeah, we had a release like 9 months ago, and people are going, what's new music? That one's still out. It's still available. You can listen to it." What do you do at the very end? Like like you were saying, do I do a full EP, or just keep releasing singles? How does this work? Because then you go like on Spotify or something, and you see one thing after another of this release, this release, this release, and it's like all just singles. It's like, oh God, I got to go through every single one, click on every single one.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
collective.
like personally for me, I would have to find like a good balance of like what people would want to keep their interest, but also what I would want to do. Because if I'm not happy doing this, then there's no point in doing it, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for singles, so far I've really just fallen in love with the whole creative process. So aside from just like songwriting, I really enjoy the recording process and then putting all the final touches on the song and then coming up with like the whole like new era basically, and then planning out photo shoots and videos and merch and like like all like the fun creative stuff that goes with it. So I think
Yeah.
with singles it's fun to just to kind of change it up
Yeah.
every couple months, but I really want to release an EP that just kind of tells a story
Yeah.
and you know walks you
Yeah.
through the whole thing. But we'll
No,
see.
that's a good point. That's a very good point because you want that sort of you want that narrative of this particular thing caught in time, and you want yeah, like I said, to tell that story, even if it's just 5 songs or 6 songs. But there is something yes more personal when it's like a here's this moment captured in time that we did all these songs. This is what we want to say.
I also just really love the simplicity of just like turning on an EP in the order that it goes in, not just like
Yeah.
shuffle, and then hearing all of like the cool ways the songs connect and tell a
Yeah.
story and like the transitions between the songs and how when the EP ends, like how maybe it'll loop back to the beginning somehow.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I have so many songs I've already written that I'm like, these are all similar and it could tell a story. And I really hope I get to do something with it one day.
Oh yeah, I think you have plenty of time to do that. That's awesome. Is it just poetry that you just write, or are you actually writing songs?
I'm actually writing songs. I've like dabbled in guitar for I don't know how many years, but some days I'll just write words like whatever I'm feeling, and then
Yeah.
I'll structure it with whenever I pick up my guitar and see what works best. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll even just be like in the car and I'll think of a melody in my head and I'm like, okay, I have to like pull over and
Yes.
record that on my phone real quick so I can it.
Yeah, I've done that too. I found old videos laying around that where I used to just set up a camera and just look at the camera and just be like, okay, I'm in C, and then just play. And then I had ideas one after another. And even one time it was so funny. I was for my work. I was up in the hills, and there was a guy doing a leaf blower, and it was on a certain key, and I was all, huh. So I just kind of started humming to myself, and then I took my phone out, and I'm like, and I started singing, like kind of just mumbling, just to get the tune. And it was like, oh, I could really do something with this, all from a leaf blower. And I was like, oh, I like this. This is just so funny. The little things like that. Yeah, like you got to pull over and just go like, oh yeah, I got this. I got this. I love that kind of stuff. That's fun. Like Jonathan Davis from Ottawa Taylor, once in a while he'll post like, I was up late at night for this bass line was stuck in my head, and he'll start playing the bass line and just I love that because you just get that. I love when you get the interruption of creativity.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
I think the worst part is whenever it happens at work and then you just like can't do anything about it.
Some sort of distraction takes you away from it, and now it's all gone and lost. It's so frustrating. Do you ever get that though? Do you ever get those where late night, like a late night tune in your head or something like that, and like, oh, I got or a phrase or something like that?
Yes, all the time. Actually, it was probably about a month ago. I just kept thinking of this one phrase in my head and I couldn't get it out of my head and I just kept kind of ignoring it, didn't really think anything of it. And then the other day, whenever I was driving back from my family's for Easter, the melody kind of like reinvented itself in a way.
Oh,
And as soon as I got back to my house, I like ran into my room and I was like, I have to write this song right now because like this is just going to happen. So that's kind
were
of
you
what
able
I've
to
been
do
doing
it?
this week. Yes, I wrote like half of it, and then I've kind of just been slowly letting it figure itself out.
Yeah, just kind of letting it breathe. Yeah, that's frustrating when you get to a point where you've nailed it, and then you just go, where am I going to go from here?
Yeah, someone asked me the other day what was my like least favorite part of the songwriting process, and I said like, 100% when the process is going just too well, and then I hit that wall. Just need something, and I don't know what it is, and I can't figure it out. So I'll just tuck it away and come back to it.
So what have you done to sort of um, resolve that problem? Do you have a particular way you do that?
I actually will. I go on a drive,
Mhm.
and
Smart.
I usually get like an energy drink or something. And I just kind of like just like look through my Spotify of like different artists I've been listening to, and then I'll listen to their radio and then just kind of like just vibe along with it, I guess, to kind of like explore new music. Because I get in this habit of where I'll listen to like the same 6 songs over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, I need to listen to something else. So listening to new artists and discovering new music really helps me to kind of branch out and figure out what I really want to do.
Yeah.
Or even just like watching like old movies for some reason has
Really?
like sparked some sort of inspiration in me. Um, so I had COVID, and unfortunately, and I watched a lot of Disney movies, and I was just like, you know what? I really miss like the 2000s and like the fashion and the music, and I was like, I want to go in this direction. And then I started listening to more um I guess like on the heavier side of alt pop, so like artists like Mothika and
Never
who
heard of
else?
it.
Kaylee Moore, I believe is her name.
I've never
Um,
heard of it.
so there's some more
I'll
on
mark these
the
down.
grungy side, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
um, then I was like, I really like that too. I've been working to find a balance of like what is penny board, but I also miss like the MySpace era. So
Forgot that was the thing. That's right.
yeah, like Forever the Sickest Kids and Already Said, Never Shot Nerves.
Oh my gosh.
Love you so
Is,
bad.
is that even still up? I mean, is that honestly still up? I don't think I don't think I've checked in years. Is it
Yes,
still up? It is, huh?
I still listen to all those artists almost every day.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, is Tom still on there? Okay. To know
I
if he
think
kind of
they
gave up
call
on
it
it all.
like what is it, Space Hay now or something like that?
Space Heat?
Yeah, they like reinvented it.
Oh, really? Oh, very
Yeah,
interesting.
for some reason.
So is it just straight like band, like a emporium or something, or is it still kind of social, like a Facebook thing?
It's more just like Facebook at this point.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. In regards to like figuring out here's the thing is, I think what's so cool is the fun part is discovering, like, by you doing that, the discovering of like like what is penny board. And for me and my band, we're going through a very similar thing. Even though we didn't really see anything last year, even though we had a lot of stuff. If you listen to our first EP and then the stuff we have now, we're still developing our sound.
I think personally it's important to continuously like allow yourself to grow as an artist.
That's what it was.
Um, so I
Thank
also
you.
think the audience should be flexible with letting an artist grow and not having to stick with one sound. And
Yeah.
if they don't like it, that's totally okay too.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun because I'm sure some bands get tired of, writing pretty much the same thing for years, and they're like, well, I want to try something different, even if it's not technically new as far as like in the music industry. But it's new to them and they're having fun with it. I think that really speaks a lot, and you can tell like if they're truly happy with what they're creating, and it'll show like in their music. And I really think it's important to just allow artists to grow and just do what they love.
Yeah, and that's what's really neat about certain. That's what we see like a lot of bands that have side projects and stuff.
Hmm.
Because you can't really, for people kind of like us, because I'm sure you'll do penny board to a point, and you probably go, well, I want to kind of do dabble on over on this style or whatever, and you'll probably do that and really enjoy that. And for me, it's the same way. Like I want to do something kind of emo-ish because emo's in my blood, and not like My Chemical Romance emo, but I mean like Sunny Day Real Estate emo and Mineral emo, that kind of stuff. But
I
yeah, go
usually
ahead.
like, so I feel like my music is more on the pop side. I get grouped in with pop punk and I can see why,
Yeah,
but I think it's more on the pop side for sure. Um, but because I really just have a love for pop punk, um, that's kind of what I do with my covers. So like if this song was pop punk, so like in the future I have like if Hillary Duff was pop punk, and I've done like if Taylor Swift was pop punk and things like that. So just so I can kind of branch out and still have fun creating
yeah,
music different
yeah.
genres.
So would you keep with doing covers, or would you like to continue kind of like do a mixture of both covers and original stuff, or you kind of focus more on original stuff?
I definitely, for as far as like distribution goes, I think I'm just gonna do originals now, unless I I have a TikTok where I post all of my like full full covers. They can only be a minute long,
Yeah.
but I'll post them on my Instagram here and there too. Um, but I've gotten a couple requests to do some full length covers of them. Like I covered "Since You've Been Gone" by Kelly Clarkson,
Oh yeah.
and
Nice.
somebody asked for a full release of that, and I was like, well, maybe one day.
Yeah, yeah,
So just kind of trying to see what my options are.
yeah. And the response I feel like is fantastic with you, right?
Hmm. Yeah, TikTok is like that social media platform is, I don't know, it's introduced me to a lot of new artists, and I've made a lot of new friends on it. I always said, you know, I'm never gonna get TikTok. I'm like, oh my
You
God,
fell
like
for it.
I don't need it. And then this pandemic happened and I was so bored. So I downloaded TikTok and I discovered like the emo side of TikTok. Like there's like a whole pop punk world on TikTok.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it's
Oh,
so
interesting.
interesting and everyone's so nice and supportive. So
That's cool.
I've met a lot of different people on there, and I wouldn't say I have like the biggest following, but of all my social media platforms, it's probably the biggest one. So
Really?
definitely have the most fun with it.
Yeah.
As far as I get to go live on there and talk with people and just hang out. It's really fun.
So is that TikTok can you stay live for longer than a minute? I mean, I don't know TikTok. So is it just live is live, or is it
Yeah,
just
so you can
okay?
be live for hours at a time. I know some
Oh,
people
okay.
will, like there's this one coffee shop I follow, and this barista, she'll just like be live for like her whole shift. It just
Oh, really?
it's so interesting. Um, I'll just like tune in throughout the day and kind of see what everyone's up to. And I know for Instagram, I don't think you can be live for more than an hour.
Oh,
Um, but there's so many people on there, like artists and things like that. They'll go on there and they'll just set up their phone and they'll just start working on music, and it's really cool just to kind of get like a like personal inside look, which is kind of what I like to do.
yeah.
I've recently started just like I'll make a playlist of new artists I've found and I'll play them on my live and just kind of hang out and talk to people. It's really fun.
No, I love that you like to do that. You're very really enjoying just your time right now with music, and again, just the feedback you're getting from other people and other bands and artists, and I think that's very commendable. Again, for something that you just kind of like jumped into, and was like, hey, yeah, I'll just give this a shot. I think that's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
And
We're all just trying to do what we love. So
exactly, that's where I ended up changing my mind about everything was I had the attitude, and one day it just kind of hit me going, you know what? No matter if I don't like that band, I don't like that song, whatever, but someone influenced them to create that song, and by them creating that song, it's influencing someone else. It's that whole, just that lineage of just influencing people, and someone's going to be, if not already, people are probably influenced by you and starting a band, or starting writing songs. I'm going to cover a Taylor Swift song, or that kind of thing too. I think that's so fantastic. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, someone actually messaged me one day and they were just telling me that like I hadn't even released my treble cover yet, and someone said, I just want you to know that Summer Days is what I listen to when I start my day, and it just makes me so happy to listen to your music, and it just kind of gets me out of a funk. And I just like started crying because I was like, I did that for someone. That's so cool. Like, I'm so happy like that could be a moment of pure joy for someone.
Yes.
So, because there's so many artists that I'll listen to this whenever I'm feeling sad, and they help me throughout my day. And
exactly, and that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. I had bands the same way that even bands now, and strangely enough, a lot of instrumental bands kind of do that for me now.
mm-hmm.
Like Caspian, or they're not instrumental necessarily, but like Sigur Rós. Oh, love Sigur Rós. And yeah, a lot of bands helped me through those times. And again, that's what it's for. You got other people who are passionate, who wrote a song about something that you related to, and guess what? It helped you, whether it made you happy or whether it brought you out of funk, like you said. Anyways, I know we're coming up on 40 minutes here, and I don't know if it's even still recording. Hey, look, it's actually recording.
Over here.
Okay, yeah. Good. I see it up in the corner. But I'm gonna take much more of your time. So, but you are on. Yeah, you're on. What? You're on all the outlets, right? You're on.
I'm on everything.
Everything.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everything is Pennyboard Band.
Okay.
Because Pennyboard was taken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it hasn't been active since like 2014, but it's okay. It's okay. On TikTok, it's just Faith Alesia. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. And you have your release of Emerald Green comes out this Friday.
Yes. I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited.
I loved your post the other day on your story on Instagram, just how excited you are of the song. I'm looking forward to it. You made me excited to wait to save it. So
yeah, I actually have to work that day, so the whole day I just
we checking your phone. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know for people who don't know, this was the third time that we tried to get together to try and have this conversation. So thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. So I hope you have a wonderful night. And again, thank you for your time. And if anytime down the line you want to come on again, if I haven't scared you off, I would love to have you on again.
This was so fun. Thank you for, having me. And this was fun, especially it being like my first interview. So.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I'm glad to be part of that. Oh, and real quick, like a quick little story. I almost told Eric from Brave Days to call in and just like, hey, as a surprise. And he's like, he was really respectful. He goes, no, that's her time. So I'm like, okay. Just thought it'd be kind of fun.
No, it's so funny.
It would have been kind of fun. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, actually. And I'm looking forward to Friday. So everybody go check out Emerald Green release on Friday. And I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.